I just won the biggest kill team tournament of Madrid of all the ones that happened to take place that particular night at 4 AM. But you know, small step for a man, a giant leap for a dwarf. I'll take it. After a month of pause, I wanted to get back on track, and I haven't really played Into the Dark yet, so I called my buddy Julio, and we both went together, literally, into the dark, and it was super fun. My first game was against a really nice guy called Pedro, Legionaries. If you think the Fire Blast is scary on open boards, it's an absolute nightmare on Into the Dark, with everyone so close together. On the other hand, the orbital scan equipment suddenly gives you a lot more value, since you are basically guaranteed to get at least 3 marker lights off each turn. That combined with the Mark Enemy Movements tag ops against the 6 model team, which I was lucky enough to draw. Nice. Another tag op that I usually don't take is Patient Hunter, but here, since there's little to do on TP1, it's almost a must-have. I also was quite lucky to draw Plant Signal Beacon as my 3rd card. Since Vantage is out of the deck and Triangulate and Retrieval got twice as hard to score, I'm actually considering having my 3 faction tag ops in my 6 card deck permanently. I'm not ready to put Mark Target into the deck just yet, but wouldn't judge you if you got weak. I started the game by sweeping my left border guys towards the door, and then marked the 3 more dangerous enemies at the bottom with the orbital scan. Don't ask me why this would work inside a spaceship. I guess besides grenades and ropes they needed to leave us some equipment we could actually take. But then I didn't open the door just yet before I knew where his Balefire Acolyte would go. Instead I started opening towards the right side, opened the door for the Blooded that had dashed forward in the scouting phase, so he would have enough movement to reach the corner. Then I moved the Markalite drone to prime an engaged gunner that was set up on guard behind the barricade, and then moved the Blooded in and took a first tentative shot with 1 reroll and no cover. I actually landed 4 hits, he failed one of his saves, so he was already down to 6 wounds, not a bad start. I still had my comms guy left, so there was a chance to move dash shoot with the gun drone, but my 7 guys worth of Markalites and shooting behind the main door did manage to discourage my opponent from showing himself, so I decided to go for positioning instead and opened the door with the comms. My leader ran forward behind the barricade and claimed the point for free, and all the others followed, pushing forward towards the central rooms. Turning point 2 we tied for the initiative roll, but since I gave my opponent the initiative last round, exactly for that reason, it was mine. I played Bonded, declared Monka, and then also recon sweep my leader out of charging range. I just didn't want to risk getting chain charged on my backline. So I flipped my Blooded to engage, marked the gunner twice more, rerolled into another 4 hits on 2+, and dashed back into safety. And at that point my opponent got a bit stuck. He was down 3 points already, no chance to charge anyone. 4 of my guys safe in obscurity in the center of the board, and one of them the fusion grenade with bonded rerolls. The TO and him double-checked obscurity and charge distances together, and it was actually way closer than I had hoped for. But yeah, my guys were all safe except for the leader, which took 2 hits but somehow survived even the attack. I sent the Markalite drone towards the next target before he would disappear into the corridor. He moved a guy onto the objective in an attempt to not fall back too much in primaries, but yeah, we both knew he would most likely not see the next turning point. I moved my leader onto the objective and then into range of the medic, which later turned out to be life-saving. And yeah, at this point you could tell he had already given up a bit on the game. He took another shot at the leader, which now was saved by the medic, which added further insult to injury. I moved my drone controller to push his guy on the left up to 4 marker lights, and yeah, that was more than he was willing to handle. He took a look at the clock and then surrendered right there. So what are my first impressions? I think, especially in this matchup, we have amazing chances to screw up massively. 1 inch too little and you get chain charged by a corn demon. 1 inch too much and you get fire blasted and lose 4 models in the center of the game. But we also have all the tools necessary to avoid just that. So especially with the recon sweep in between turns to adjust for distances, that is just amazing. I don't think many factions on Into the Dark have that much control over the outcome. So, and we know the maps, we know the exact terrain layout, we can plan ahead with our activations, our +1 APs, the little things. So I think it's a big advantage. I really like playing Pathfinders here. So, now with the absolute authority of Pathfinders on Into the Dark with a total of 2 games in, here are some of the fun things I wanted to show you that you can do with Pathfinders in the Darkness. Let's start from the back. Exposed Trove, the map we just played. This is one of the few maps where there's actually a lot of action happening in the first turn. So to maximize the first punch, I'm actually considering taking the Pulse Accelerator drone to the board. Not only for the Blooded, but also the Gun drone if you want to do guard or an Overwatch shot with the drone controller. I need those improbable 5s. On Vault Plunder you get the unique chance to score 3 primaries first turn. All you have to do is activate Mount K, recon sweep someone along with a forward deployed drone towards the door, open the door to your leader and then send him onto the point with his free mission action. Then don't screw up the order like I just do right here. Open the door before you activate the drone controller and remote control the drone onto the objective. You can do it, but it's a pretty hard commitment on Mount K turn 1. Force Stronghold is a map where you can actually get your gun drone 17 inches across the board and shoot right into your opponent's deployment zone. If you play Mount K, you can even do it in one activation. Just use your leader for the +1 to mission actions. That's a bubble of 3 inches if you activate a model within that. Then you can use your drone controller to open the door for free and activate the drone, and the drone needs to have Mount K activated. Otherwise you could take the comms, give the 1 extra APL to the gun drone, and then in 2 activations get the job done. However, you need to be quite fast for this one, otherwise this door will be open, and from there on it's quite hard to hit anything. However, not all is lost. You can just bring a second guy, open the door to get your gun drone into the room instead. Supply Raid, the pick up and run away map. Not only Hunter Clade, we too can pick up an objective first activation. Recon sweep forward, open the door with your drone controller and send in the drone to pick up the objective. Note that at the end of the turn you will have to drop the thing within 1 inch, but with your bigger drone base you essentially move the objective more than 4 inches towards your side, which is amazing. You can also do it on the non-recon sweep side, like in the center, but you would need the leader for that with this free action. Then we have the Power Surge. There's a way to make yourself unchargeable. Place a barricade exactly into the center of the central right objective and smaller miniatures can't charge you out of cover. Base sizes above that won't even fit at all, so the only way to get you off that objective is to shoot you from within 2 inches. Use the Graph Drone for the left objective, that one is an inch closer. Command Station Control, the one with the big central room. If you can't find a way to fit 3 miniatures and cover into the door frame, place a barricade behind the door and stack as many models as you like. 2.1 and 2.3 are not played in Spanish tournaments, but 2.2, oh boy, if you need a hint looking at this, it's called Full Scale Attack. If you don't know what I mean, watch the game I played against Lava. There's also something fun you could build with the barricades you don't need for this map, and potentially amazing diagonal shots through multiple doors.